When you get a pimple from a hormonal breakout, it's like the worst thing ever because those pimples are cysts and they're under the surface of the skin. They hurt. And when they die, when they go away, the majority of the time, they leave a huge scar. What happens is the pimple is actually on the second layer of your skin. So you've got your epidermis and you've got your dermis. The pimple's on this layer. So after it dies, there's usually a lot of collagen that is lost in that spot. Not only that, but then the epidermis falls because there's no collagen, and then the scar tissue gets built there, and then you have like this permanent indentation from the acne, from the pimple. So the best thing to do with hormonal breakouts, although you can definitely treat those scars, the best thing to do is try to prevent hormonal acne or acne in general. And the best way to prevent hormonal acne is through diet and stress. So here are the 5 things that you need to start doing today in order to manage your hormonal breakouts. And almost all of them have to do with diet. You need to quit drinking caffeine, specifically coffee. You need to stop drinking coffee. Coffee is directly related to hormonal acne. Coffee revs up the adrenal glands. It spikes your cortisol levels, and it spikes your adrenals, and it will cause acne. I personally limit coffee intake to about 1 to 2 cups per week. And I like that because I can make my coffee runs like super bougie. So I get like the really nice coffee, just like once or twice a week. And then the rest of the week I drink green tea. Next thing is sugar. You need to decrease your sugar. I like to keep dark chocolate around because that really quenches my cravings for sugar without being too high in sugar content. The problem with sugar is sugar spikes your insulin, and insulin is another hormone. And sugar is also directly related to hormonal breakouts. So try to limit your sugar intake. Definitely no soda, or, you know, if you're eating cake every day, I mean, hey, you gotta have balance. Sometimes you eat cake every day, you know, but in general, sugar is linked to breakouts, and you should try to minimize it as much as possible. So the next thing is meat. So the problem with meat is if it's not organic, especially, but meat can have a lot of hormones from, you know, the way that they treat the animals in, you know, while they're raising them as livestock. They pump them up with a lot of hormones to increase their mass. So obviously they get more meat out of one cow or one chicken or whatever. So those animals, especially if they're not organic, have so much hormone in them that it can really throw your digestive tract and your skin completely out of whack. So I would try to eat as much organic meat as possible, and I would try to limit the meat intake that you eat to like a few times a week. I mean, you have to listen to your own body, but personally, that's what works for me. Last thing, wait, no, not the last thing. Last food item to control is dairy. Dairy is chock full of hormones. It is not only that, but it's just a disaster of a product. I mean, cheese is one of my favorite things ever. And if I'm, you know, going wine tasting, whatever, I'll have cheese. It's not like I completely cancel out this food group. I did for a while, like while I was seeing what I was sensitive to, but I eat it very, 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 very rarely. Like I could count the number of times on maybe one hand, 2 hands that I eat it throughout the year. And it's not like cheese on my salad. Like, no, it's like decadent cheese and wine. You can eat your cheese however you want. This is just what I do. Limit it just to a few times as like something decadent that you eat, but not something that you're consuming every day. Dairy will cause breakouts, and that has to do with hormonal fluctuations, as well as just being like, a lot of us are kind of lactose intolerant as we grow older, and the way that cheese is processed is just a disaster for the body anyways. Last thing you need to do in order to control hormonal breakouts is an activity, and you need to meditate every day. And you need to meditate every day for minimum like 3 minutes. So it's not like anything like a huge commitment, but just something that you start building the habit, because consistency is most important with meditation. And then as you grow, you know, into it a little bit more, work your way up to 10 minutes or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. But consistency is the most important thing. So minimum, just do 3 minutes, like worst case scenario. And as long as you have hormonal breakouts, then this is going to help you control them. Definitely always talk to a physician. If you're working with a dermatologist or a physician, consult with them on, you know, more of the details on your personal, how you should tailor this advice to your personal diet.